Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 568 based on novel. So let's start. Sorry, I can't leave him alone. At this moment, looking at the situation that has become a foregone conclusion and cannot be reversed, a dazzling 10-colored divine light suddenly rippled around Kaylin's body. A trace of spontaneous combustion, that kind of trace, even with the suppression of the flame god cauldron, seems to be unable to restrain its terrifying divine might. Yun, who was tearful at the side, also chuckled lightly. Just as her whole body was about to explode with the power of self-destruction, a bunch of dark and suffocating demon patterns, strangely ignoring the power of Yangshending, instantly swept away the two of them. Action strangled in the cradle. In an instant, the two women were restrained, but they suddenly raised their heads and looked at the void where the world began to twist. There, some familiar auras began to twist. That is demon power. Xiao Yan has been defeated. Do you still want to fight? The two archangels and the human son Wangxian Xuanzuan spoke at the same time, like victors, mercilessly mocking the group of endless Flame Alliance ants below who did not know the heights of the sky. Without Xiao Yang's leadership, the so-called endless Flame Alliance would be nothing but scattered sand. Afraid? What's there to fear? Never die. In the face of the opponent's shocking posture, the roars that shook the world came out from the mouth of the King of Beasts and the elites of the Endless Flame Alliance, which was quite a feeling of blood boiling. Immediately, the power of countless people boiled, and there was a faint flicker of a very destructive halo, even the light of fireflies. At this time, the opponent's coalition army was slightly moved. But their power is too small after all. No matter how murderous they burst out, it is useless. In just a short time, Yaroji and the others were all defeated in the battle on the dark wall above the sky, and the attack of the two kings of beasts was also completely defeated. The battle in the underworld seems to be coming to an end at this moment, but no one regrets it. The power of ants. Wait, what's going on? In the next moment, just as Bayline spoke, she discovered that the dark matter above the underworld, countless heaven and earth energies suddenly trembled strangely, and then, at a speed visible to the naked eye, facing the sky, facing the underworld, the edge of the wall converge. It seems that in the darkness on the edge of the dark wall, there is an endless abyss magic mouth, which is ruthlessly and greedily swallowing everything here. And in that abyss, there is even a madman who is crazy to the extreme, who is jumping and cheering. What is that? Hearing Bayline's strange roar, Wangxian Xuanzuan suddenly raised his head and looked up at the sky. Above the underworld wall, there are some kind of dizzying evil spirit patterns that are flashing, and the dark green energy is so dense that it stands one after another in the underworld wall. Everything. With a slight flick, an indescribable suffocation of despair enveloped the whole body. Under that kind of power, I am afraid that only the demigods are not oppressed, and the rest of the people's eyes suddenly tightened, and their bodies trembled slightly when they looked at the space of the underworld that was infinitely close to hell. What terrifying power is in it? Turn me on. Devil God Banquet. Looking at Xiao Yang's appearance that he was on the verge of death, and would fall completely at any time, countless dark tides suddenly converged on the sky, and the dark green demon power on the dark wall all flew away towards the source of the sound. The mad and chilling roar cut through the sky, like a real greedy demon, driving the power of those demons into a rain of demons that poured down. Boom! The dark green rain of demons just fell and poured out. The power of angels in this world, or the power of countless people such as the King of Beasts, were all viciously touched, and countless sacred powers trembled instantly, and then collapsed. Broken. Boom, boom. A shocking loud bang woke up many of the powerhouses of the Endless Flame Alliance who were trying to break the cauldron. The ground beneath everyone's feet suddenly sank down, and all the ground visible to the naked eye collapsed suddenly, as if falling into the endless hell, turning into an abyss of demons that had never been seen before. Beneath the dark green abyss with no end, the dark green lava tumbled violently, the ocean full of evil flowed, and beams of greedy demon beams. No matter how you look at it, this is beyond the scope of hell. If you fall into it easily, I am afraid that there is only one way to destroy both body and spirit. And Xiao Yang, as well as the angel altar and other things, were completely swallowed by the endless hell, and fell into the deeper part of the devil's abyss. No one knows where the end of the devil's abyss is. All the rain of demons fell into the abyss, and its target seemed to be Xiao Yang, who was on the verge of death, and quickly gathered towards the latter's body. That viscous, evil, and mind-trending rain of demons poured into Xiao Yang's body without reservation. Even though his body was on the verge of complete destruction, after the infusion of such profound demonic rain power, The heart recast by the holy flame in Xiao Yang's body was beating strangely, as if he saw some kind of delicious food in an instant. Food. It turned out to be a steady stream of devouring, absorbing the power of these demons. Dark King, do you want to occupy Xiao Yang's body? Becoming the new Xiao Yang? Archangel Az's face changed slightly. The rain of demons and the endless abyss of demons below really made her smell a fearful color, and she immediately looked at the crazy-looking King of Darkness above the sky. The King of Darkness did not answer, but all the energy of this world was suddenly stirred up, and scenes of demon storms that were enough to subvert everything gradually wrapped around the body of the King of Darkness. The center of the demon storm had a disturbing dark green color. The light group expands violently. Dark King. At this moment, the smug smile on Ren Shenz's face vanished in an instant, and there was even a strange gleam of fear in the depths of his pupils. Uneasy. Ha ha ha. The Son of Man, the Archangel, including the great elder Xiao Yang who was bound by the dark cage in the void below, trembled strangely at this time, and all the power in the body trembled slightly or even solidified. His eyes narrowed slightly, and the King of Darkness, who was entrenched in the sky, suddenly stretched out his shriveled arms covered with countless demon patterns from the demon storm, and then slowly put it on his shoulders, and a frenzy appeared on the corner of his mouth. Cold smile. Stinky boy, please forgive my cowardice. I'm not a qualified demon, I can barely be regarded as a demon slave, but you are different. You will become the most outstanding person in my Xiao clan in the world. Tear. Involuntarily, the palm of the Dark King slid down from the shoulder behind him, as if tearing at his own flesh, in one go. Immediately, a violent tearing sound resounded, and everyone saw the blood dripping on the back of the Dark King, and the blood of the evil spirit was completely separated from the skin and skin. The entire back was completely separated from the demon robe. The scene was once appalling. Crazy, are you crazy? Seeing such a crazy move by the King of Darkness, the uneasiness in the soul of the Son of the Gods became stronger and stronger, and even the power of black and white that protected his body trembled slightly. The source of the unease is not from the Dark King, but from the blood-drenched demon robe stained with the Dark King's half-body skin. From above, even the powerful and demigod-level human god-child could not help but smell a heart palpitation. From the perception of the latter alone, it seems that this kind of thing itself surpasses the limit of human cognition. This is something that should not exist in the world at all. This is a surprise for you from this king. In the demon storm, crazy roars continued to emerge, and immediately all the demon power poured into the demon robes, as if the latter was carving, perfecting the outstanding work that he was most satisfied with. Without the devil's robe, the Dark King's breath dropped greatly, the devil's pattern on his skin became more and more dim, and his entire face completely appeared in the sight of everyone. Especially the latter's eyebrows flashed a faint light pattern, and his identity, fully revealed. That is the Xiao clan. Clan marks. Xiao. Xiao Yunming. Looking at the King of Darkness with a faint breath, Ren Shenzi was extremely angry, and finally completely recognized the latter's true identity at this moment. This guy is actually the younger brother of the Xiao clan patriarch who disappeared mysteriously in the Xiao clan at the end of the First World War. What kind of evil power is this? And the Archangel Az below, but at the moment when the demon robe fell off the Dark King, his body trembled violently, and the angel wings behind him trembled violently. Uneasy fluctuations spread rapidly. That kind of power is simply not something that humans can compete with. Destroy me. Fears piled up. The Son of the Gods did not dare to hesitate anymore, and once again stretched out his palm. The bright black and white colors drove his demigod power to roar down, and the space cracked, and the world changed color. However, in the face of such an angry blow from the Son of God, the devil's robe was like a living thing, and a bottomless devil's mouth was instantly cracked on it. The Son of God, who was as powerful as a demigod, struck with anger and fell on the devil's robe so easily. This demon robe is so terrifying. Hoo. After swallowing the latter's attack, the demon robe cast a playful glance at the Son of God. It seemed to say, "Thank you for the gift." Then, under the watchful eyes of countless people, he instantly left the palm of the Dark King, leaving the already weakened demon storm. His robes surged like a swipe of thunder, and swept away from Xiao Yang, who was dying in the demon abyss below. King of Darkness. Xiao Yunming. If Xiao Yang has 3 strengths and 2 weaknesses, I will definitely not let you go. Seeing that the King of Darkness was actually the younger brother of the head of the Xiao family, the elder Xiao Yang's face was full of sternness. The power of the devil's robe is too evil. In the current situation, it is clear that he wants to find a new container. Even if the King of Darkness gives Xiao Yang, whether Xiao Yang can completely control it. After all, It is a supreme evil that even demigods don't care about. If he is not careful, I am afraid that Xiao Yang will only become a puppet of the devil. In this world, there is no power for nothing. But, I trust this kid. Because I saw some rare things in him, that kind of things, I'm afraid even the eldest brother has never owned it. Maybe this world will depend on him in the end. The Dark King's long flowing hair was surging slightly, and the weakness in his body caused the latter's strength to drop from the end of the reincarnation step to a peak. Obviously, such a move would cause too much damage to the latter. But he didn't have any regrets, because he had waited too long for this day. Most of the ground in the underworld was completely shattered and turned into an endless abyss of demons. In such a bottomless abyss, even the archangel did not dare to fall into it easily, because the breath of the demons below was too great. Too strong and evil, even she is not fully confident to deal with it. Vaguely, everyone looked at the demon abyss, but they could clearly see that there was a dying shadow in it. The void around him suddenly distorted, and the dark green flames burned the entire abyss. With the pouring of the demon robes and those demon rains, the man who was on the verge of death stood up eerily. Immediately, under the watchful eyes of countless people, he seemed to instinctively stretch out his dead arm and grab the demon robe in one fell swoop. In the hand, press it against the body. When the demon robe swept into Xiao Yang's body ecstatically, the jade-colored dragon ****** bone made a slight dragon roar, as if resisting or repelling the demon robe. The two instantly stalemate for 10 breaths, and the power of greed within the demon's robes quickly subsided. The two seemed to form some kind of check and balance. The next moment, the devil's robe was attached to Xiao Yang's back like an emperor's coronation. Dark green blood began to flow out from the devil's robe, and immediately poured down Xiao Yang's body that had already existed in name only. With the appearance of dark green blood, the power of angels and demigods remaining in Xiao Yang's body actually slowly disappeared, and a pool of hot and evil blood made Xiao Yang's heart, strength, etc. gradually recover. Heart-shattering heartbeats were clearly transmitted from the abyss of the devil. That kind of strong and powerful beating, at this time, shocked ours like a magic sound. He's not dead. At this moment, whether it was Xiao Yang, Cai Lin or Bei Lin, all of them were dumbfounded. Archangel Beiline stared solemnly at the barren abyss, where the void has been distorted. There seems to be some kind of dumb fluctuations, and it is recovering little by little. Rebirth. Ares, you should know that once this incident fails, the consequences will be unimaginable. At this moment, Ren Shenz's face was filled with unprecedented solemnity. The scene in front of him was truly shocking and refreshed his cognition. Obviously, none of this group of Xiao people is a fuel-efficient lamp. But now, the contempt in his heart has completely subsided, as if he is tired of this farce, trying to use his full power to completely calm down here. I know. Beiline, follow me. Ars's gloomy face moved slightly, and his eyes were locked on Xiao Yang, who was beginning to recover in the demon abyss below. The rebirth of the demon must be stopped. Otherwise, the reborn demon, even the head of the powerful archangel, will not be able to compete. Want to go down? When Bei Lin heard the words, her delicate body was shocked. The devilish power in the demon abyss below, I am afraid that only the peak powerhouses of the 9 reincarnation rank can contend. If you go on like this, you are just going to die. Go. While the two of them were talking, they jumped up and jumped directly below. Obviously they were determined to completely obliterate Xiao Yang. If this person is not eliminated, there will be endless troubles. Without the power blessing of the devil's robe, how can you resist this seat now? Immediately, as the two archangels swept away towards the demon abyss, the son of the gods stared at the king of darkness, wishing to smash each other into tens of thousands of pieces. If it weren't for the crazy behavior of this madman, Xiao Yang would have died countless times. The king of darkness's actions have made the son of God completely angry, and the anger of the demigod rank powerhouse is indeed a bit chilling. Although the king of darkness is powerful and talented, the latter has already devoted his whole life to the devil's robes during these years in the underworld, and the loss of the devil's robes is not a small burden for the latter. Really? Then try it. The king of darkness sneered, and the dark tides surged around him, instantly gathering the endless flame alliance onto the wall of the underworld. The power of the devil's abyss is too evil for these powerhouses to resist. On the contrary, the allied forces of the angel kingdom and the center of the human world are full of fear and anxiety at this moment. Those dark substances and the breath of demons are constantly devouring their lives. Stinky boy, this is everything this king can do, and the rest is in your hand. As soon as the voice fell, the king of darkness was once again entangled with the Son of God. This is all he can do now. The rest, he can only do his best to buy time for Xiao Yang. I'm here to help you too. Looking at the circle of demons that began to surging strangely in the abyss below, the elder Xiao Yang nodded heavily, but he and the King of Darkness instantly launched an offensive without turning back, and became entangled with the Son of Man and God. However, with the current strength of the Dark King and the great elder Xiao Yang, I am afraid that they will not be able to cope with the gods who have reached the demigod level. Here, it's still a dead end. The only way to break the game is the guy who descends into the endless abyss of demons in the depths. Standing on the dark wall in the distance, many strong men of the Endless Flame Alliance slowly passed through the dark wall and looked at the location of the dark city in the back. The energy of the heaven and the earth, the spatial order is completely disordered, as if there is a real god's residence. The fierce confrontation is much stronger than that of the Son of God. The situation on the entire battlefield became tense again, but the demon abyss below ignored the tremors, and countless forces shrank and converged in an instant, pouring into Xiao Yang's body. Can we kill him? For some unknown reason, his body approached the demon Xiao Yang below, but Archangel Baeline's angelic wings trembled violently. Ars didn't answer, but his beautiful eyes locked tightly on the mighty demon shadow below. The beating sound of the heart beating around the demon Xiao Yang was particularly harsh. It seemed that with the coronation of the demon's robe, the dark green energy spread towards the melted body. The chest, head, face. Where the dark green demon power is full, the flesh and blood that has already been turned into dust has been reborn again with a brand new attitude, carrying an unparalleled evil spirit here. The devil does not yield, the flame does not die, and the keel does not die. At this moment, Xiao Yang's breath and vitality were suddenly rekindled. Go. After a short while, the two archangels successfully reached the mid-air of the demon abyss, feeling that the demon power below seemed to be resisting and repelling their fall, and all the emotions on R's face disappeared instantly. Yes. Bellin bit her lip and teeth, and they were one after the other with R's, which seemed to form some wonderful order. Angels sing, the most pious and sacred high-pitched voice in the hearts of the two, like the dawn that pierced through the darkness, rose from the abyss of the devil. The 10 enchanting purple angel wings on the delicate body suddenly fell off from behind them, dripping with blood, causing the whole body to vibrate slightly. As many as 20 purple angel wings had just fallen off, and the breath of the two archangels became weak in an instant. However, as the angelic incantations were chanted in their mouths, the angel wings appeared in the devil's abyss, forming a beautiful line. The majestic sanctuary of angels. In the sanctuary, it is like a shackle, like a cage, like a god-killing thing carefully nurtured by a real god's residence, blooming with a sacred breath that can obliterate everything. The devil, let it end here. Seeing the appearance of the 20-winged angel sanctuary, Ars suddenly laughed, and the smile was full of endless weirdness and terrifying. Immediately, the angel sanctuary built by 20 angel wings slowly fell down, and countless white sacred feathers spread out, causing the entire devil abyss to become completely turbulent. This angel singing technique, which has almost reached the real scope of divine arts, once again took a brand new attitude and slaughtered the demon Xiao Yang below. It was still like the original angel altar, with countless trials and sanctions. Such power makes it impossible to defend. The distorted void around the demon Xiao Yang's body began to solidify. It seemed that he sensed a real threat from this attack. His heart beat faster and faster, and the temperature in the entire demon abyss suddenly rose sharply. How is this going? In the distance, Cai Lin, Yun Yun and others all mentioned their hearts in their throats, and immediately looked at the splendid sanctuary below that was enough to annihilate everything, and suddenly there was a more dazzling brilliance, covering it away. Dark green, orange gold, purple, pink. 10 completely different eyes flashed on the side of the demon Xiao Yang at the same time, alternately, converged, and then completely melted at a certain moment, blessing on the demon robe behind. In the entire demon abyss, magnificent soul mountain groups suddenly emerged, and immediately gathered together to form a sky-shaking trend. There are even endless holy flames spewing out from it, and the holy flames are extremely violent, and the entire demon abyss is extremely shocking. At the end of the Soul Mountains, suddenly there was an evil creature shrouded in dark green light, bathed in this extremely evil and sacred flame, and the vitality became vigorous from the time of danger. Soul Mountain and Angel Sanctuary collided, without any energy fluctuations, they were pulled into the Devil's Abyss by countless pairs of arms covered with demon patterns, holy flame pattern. No! Impossible! How is it possible that someone could survive the trial of the Sanctuary of Angels? Looking at the figure in front of him standing in the Soul Mountain where the demon holy flame meets the soul, the figure that has long been riddled with holes is now slowly surging, and Archangel Ars's mind is blank. The Angel Kingdom's combat effectiveness is weak, but after the Slaughter Angel took over the throne, the Judgment Angel, who was also one of the 5 dominant angels, secretly went to the first demon suppression prison to rescue the Angel Queen, and was easily wiped out by her. He and Baleen had already sworn the holy deed of angels, forever loyal to the Slaughter Angel, so the two devoured and absorbed the power of the Judgment Angel respectively, and their strength reached the 9th level as a matter of course, so that the peak level was enough to help the Slaughter Angel completely stabilize those opposing voices in the kingdom of angels. This is the source of their power. The remaining 3 dominant angels are mostly neutral and do not have peak combat power. Over time, the status of the Angel Kingdom royal family has been suppressed by them. The demon Xiao Yan, who was reborn in a brand new form, on his cold face, the holy pattern and the devil pattern are perfectly blended, full of endless arrogance, and the dark green hair and pores contain inexhaustible resources. The vast power of exhaustion is like a demon tyrant who has ruled the ages, arrogant and contempt for all living beings. A hairy, sinister smile suddenly hung from the corner of his mouth, and the demon robe behind him even emitted countless magical lights of heaven and earth, which made his figure extraordinarily powerful. That vast power seems to have vaguely reached the 9 reincarnation rank, or the peak of the 9 reincarnation rank. Today, he may not be a simple Xiao Yang, but a demon king with the purest blood between heaven and earth, enough to have the power to compete head-on, and even kill Ars and others. Rebirth in destruction, destruction in rebirth. It's a fascinating power. The demon Xiao Yang is still stepping on the countless magnificent soul mountains, slightly stretched out his palm, feeling the long-lost surging power of dominance. His smile became more and more gloomy. Is this the only demon in the world today? Looking at the evil attitude of the demon Xiao Yang, Ars still tried her best to maintain an elegant attitude, although she knew that the situation was over now. The next moment, the body of the demon Xiao Yang disappeared above the Soul Mountain, as if it merged with this dark demonic abyss. In the blink of an eye, he appeared beside Ars unknowingly, and the evil voice made Ars's voice beside him. The cold hair could not help but stand upright. At that moment, the power of the angel in the body was solidified in an instant, and it was impossible to set off any resistance. Boom. Pub Future adds. There is no need for any urging at all, as if the power of angels and the power of demons are the enemies of the generations, and they can't help but burst into the sky as soon as they touch it. The endless demon power in the body swayed out, instantly smashing the bodies of the 2 archangels to pieces, dying. Without the angel wings, their strength has already plummeted, and they are vulnerable to Xiao Yang, who is now reborn as the strongest. With just such a simple blow, Ars knew the gap between himself and the demon Xiao Yang. Even in his heyday, he could not compete with him. This demon possesses a bizarre power capable of directly countering the divine power of angels. Not only does he possess the most mysterious power of demons in the world, but he also perfectly combines holy flames with it. Today's evil spirits and awe-inspiring demons, if it is not erased in time, I am afraid it will bring countless disasters to this world. On the side, Baylin's demeanor was the exact opposite of Ars. Baylin's eyes couldn't be taken away from the demon Xiao Yang. Every time his heart beat, it would make his heart tremble. The latter's skin, flesh and blood are intact, and even the strength has grown to a chilling level. It's too powerful, so powerful that it subverts their cognition, and it's not like the two of them can compete. The power of the devil, it's really good. But do you dare to kill me? This seat is the head of the archangel under the crown of the slaughtering angel in the kingdom of angels. If I die, how can the mere infinite flame alliance withstand the anger of the slaughter crown? Ads by Pub Future. Pub Future adds. Only if I am alive, can you endless flame alliance continue to live like this. Ha ha ha. Even though the demon Xiao Yang showed such radiant power, Ars still used such words to stab Xiao Yang. If he retreats, he will be freed. If he is indifferent, with his own fall, the slaughter angel has a more suitable qualification to obliterate the endless flame alliance. No matter what the outcome is, he is destined to be the victorious party, and his death, the queen of angels controlled by the killing angel, and the resurrection magic will be added in the future, he will still be reborn. The fish died and the net was broken. This demon is still too young, and the order of this world cannot escape the independence of the kingdom of angels. You're right. In the face of Ars's crazy words, the brilliant demon power of the demon Xiao Yang boiled up, like a billowing lava flame, suddenly swallowing the only angel power left on Ars's body. Then the arm covered with the devil's pattern slowly stroked Ars's flawless white face, and slowly slipped away from his jade neck. His palm was pinching the latter's jade neck, and the corner of his mouth began to have a twisted smile emerges, exerting a little force, as if pulling something. For a time, the fear spread in R's mind, and he only felt that the only angel power left in his body could not raise any storms. At this moment, he could only let the other party tear him apart. At the connection between the head and the body, the neck suddenly felt a pain that penetrated deep into the bone marrow, and then it was gradually separated and pulled apart by the hands of the devil. With the soul and consciousness of Rs, the archangel who used to be proud of everything understands that the shadow of death is so close. Pub Future adds. Squeaking, the entire head and body were like a knot, and were suddenly pulled and torn apart countless times by this mad demon, and then in a certain rotation, a crisp sound emerged, completely separated, shattered, and turned into two halves. The blood of countless angels spewed out. The body and head just turned into two halves, all of R's power and aura quickly faded like a tide, and before the demon Xiao Yan could make a move, the demon robe behind him stretched out endless gloomy shadows, like a greedy devil. Quickly devour R's body completely. In less than 100 breaths of time, Rs completely fell here, and there was no fluctuation of struggle at all. Golem, dead, dead. In the distance, Wang Xian Xuanzuan, who led the alliance between the Angel Kingdom and the Human World Center, looked at the R's breath that disappeared instantly in the demon abyss below, and his pupils were filled with a unique look of astonishment. As powerful as the mid-level strength of the 9 reincarnation rank, and even at the cost of abandoning the angel's wings, it is actually unable to cause any damage to this demon. At the moment when the demon robe devoured R's body, a milky white bug slowly crawled out from the center of his head, and immediately appeared in the sight of the demon Xiao Yang. Slightly squirming and climbing in the void, there seemed to be countless memory fragments emerging from it. Obviously all of them are aimed at Rs's memory and spirit. Spiritual pupils. It turns out that you are all pawns under the slaughter angel. Seeing this scene, the demon Xiao Yang smiled. Xiao Yang, let me go. I can tell you everything you want to know about the Thunder Lord, killing angels, including the kingdom of angels. As long as you let me go. Seeing Rs fall into the hands of the demon Xiao Yang so easily, Beiline's spirit almost collapsed, her body trembled, and she said, begging for mercy. The feud of the Xiao clan must end in blood. Gently wiped out the spiritual worm, and then the demon Xiao Yang once again stretched the claws of death towards Beiline. In the blink of an eye, Beiline was also in a different place, completely transformed into the nourishment of the devil's robe. The two archangels are cowardly under the current demon Xiao Yang. Above the sky, the angry man God's son attacked fiercely. Once he made a move, it shook the sky, and even countless dim voids collapsed easily. The two figures of the King of Darkness and Xiao Yang were continuously defeated by his attack. People's faces became more and more gloomy. You take this group of guys and take refuge in the city of Underworld. Here, I'll stop it. The King of Darkness slightly removed the power of black and white on his body, and then heaved a heavy breath. Snatch. Without the power blessing of the devil's robe, and being infected by this black and that contains the aura of a demigod, even the King of Darkness darkened. You can't handle him. As the elder of the Xiao clan, how can I let my people of the Xiao clan ignore me? Facing the resolute words of the King of Darkness, the elder Xiao Yang directly reprimanded him with a straight face. Don't worry. After all, this king is one of the rulers of the underworld, and he can't die in a short time. Dark King Senran's voice is full of endless evil meanings, making people shudder, and countless dark breaths once again spread out like a tide. Susu, to die. Yin and Yang countercurrent. The sound of light laughter slowly poured out from the face of the son of the gods, and immediately raised his hands high above his head. The black and white colors of different colors on the hands quickly blended, and in the blink of an eye, it transformed into a strange black and white moon, entrenched in the sky. The unease in the Dark King's heart expanded rapidly, the weak demonic power and the strong dark power all over his body unreservedly vented out, and immediately formed a sky-high net in this sky, trying to buy time for everyone behind him, and then suddenly turning back, he roared at the great elder behind him. The intensity of this kind of attack is already beyond the mere 9-fold reincarnation peak that can resist. That's too late. The first elder Xiao Yang's eyes flashed with a cold breath, and he shook his head helplessly. The speed of their movement is naturally not as fast as the attack of the Son of God, and there are many powerhouses of the Endless Flame Alliance behind them. This attack must be resisted. The black and white crescent moon took shape slightly, and the power of yin and yang emanated from it. During the tremors in the void, those overflowing powers turned into countless sharp energy blades, and they took the lead in whistling away at the two of them. Shade the sun, be majestic. Where the yin and yang energy chi blades pass, even the void is torn apart instantly. The power of the demigods contained in each chi blade is probably enough to sanction everything in this world. Fall for me. Countless yin and yang chi blades fell first, and then the monstrous crescent moon followed like a shooting star. Looking at such a proud work, the slender black hair of the son of the gods slowly fluttered. It seems that the next moment, the two peak 9-layer reincarnation-level powerhouses in front of him will be completely buried here. Under the double attack of the yin-yang chi blade and the monstrous crescent moon, both of them will be completely destroyed, leaving no bones. Bang! The cold light in the eyes of the two of them flickered slightly, and immediately above their fists, there was a destructive power of the peak of the reincarnation level, and they suddenly tore the dark void and hit it away. Boom! The piercing sound of metal-sharp weapons spread like ripples, and the void was torn apart by countless yin and yang blades along the way. Even the terrifying blow that the Dark King and the two tried their best to unleash was a swift smile. His body trembled slightly, and he stepped back. The Great Elder and the King of Darkness almost did their best, but before the strange crescent moon came, just those strange yin and yang chi blades broke through all their defenses out of thin air, and immediately attacked their vital points with a strong posture. Culled away. The demigod rank is really a powerful and suffocating existence. However, at the moment when the energy blade broke the iron fist attack of the two without warning, trying to touch the skin of the two to destroy the source, a dark green halo suddenly rippled from the void under the two of them. The dark green halo just burst out, and suddenly turned into a greedy beast. The sinister mouth protruded from the dark green halo, biting on the yin and yang chi blade without hesitation, sharp and sharp. A harsh sound swept through. The yin and yang chi blade was disturbed, bitten, and shattered in an instant, leaving only that round of the monstrous meniscus full of the power of the demigod. Man, the offensive is terrifying. The upper man's eyes were slightly wrinkled, and he could clearly feel the energy contained in this dark green halo, which had far surpassed the current King of Darkness and Xiao Yang. That is, the real peak of the ninefold reincarnation order, late stage. Near the end of the cycle, but so strong, how can you resist yourself? The monstrous crescent moon fell out of thin air, and countless black and white powers turned into torrents, flooding towards the Dark King and the two like a flood of beasts. The fusion of black and white, the power of destruction contained in it is extraordinarily rich, and it seems to be above this piece of heaven and earth. At the moment of facing such a black and white torrent, the King of Darkness and Xiao Yang felt a slight shock in their bodies. It seems that they can't help feeling their own insignificance when facing this kind of power. Just when everyone was shocked, a dark green and magnificent evil shadow burst out from the endless demon abyss below, carrying countless suffocating demonic energy around it, suddenly pierced through the void, and finally slammed into it. Above the black and white torrent. Boom! Countless eyes suddenly tightened, and two attacks shattered the void and collided with each other. An indescribable destructive shock wave rippled, and the entire void set off countless destructive energy storms. The aftermath of the impact has not completely ended, and everyone's breathing has become rapid, and their eyes are only focused on the core explosion, where there seems to be an indelible evil spirit. The power of a demigod. It's really extraordinary. When the exploding U-bow slowly faded away, the shadow of a demon who was blessed with 10 colors squatted in the sky, with an outrageous and crazy smile flashing in his scarlet eyes. The shocking color gradually poured out from the faces of Ren Shenzi and others. This guy can actually intercept his own attack. How can the mere ninefold reincarnation rank pinnacle resist the power of demigods? Stinky boy, it didn't disappoint me. Looking at the figure whose body was covered with the lines of the devil, the King of Darkness forcibly stabilized the weakness in his body, and there was a hint of urgency in his voice, and relief. Well, it worked. The situation is still not optimistic. Demon Xiao Yang's demonic power became more and more gloomy and cold, standing beside the two strong men, all colors of brilliance flashed in his eyes, and he was always watching the son of the gods beside him, and said lightly, "Deputy World Lord." Looking at the other party's formation, Wang Xuanzuan also came to Ren Shenzi's side with a gloomy face. Fight. His eyes glanced silently at the King of Darkness and others, and then the Son of God spoke lightly. "Leader, rest assured, these shrimp soldiers and crab generals, I am enough to wait." The powerhouse of the Endless Flame Alliance behind him looked at the demon Xiao Yang, who was in a radiant state, and immediately burst out laughing. Immediately, everyone tried their best. Under the leadership of Yarou Ji, the King of Beasts and others, they faced Wang Xianxian. Zunji and the coalition army fought and left. Now, in the battle between the coalition forces of the two sides, the Endless Flame Alliance has a vague momentum to stabilize its head. This video will end here.